A rollable phone? New Intel CPUs are coming? Don't go anywhere, this is MLM. New Agisa BIOSes for Ryzen 5000 series CPUs are coming to you this January and February. Updates include Win 10 S0i3 support for passive X570 motherboards, and more. Check out the link for more info. CES 2021 is coming to a close and we finally have an official word on Intel Core i9-11900K. Well, if you have been following us in all the other MLM episodes, you'll know that in the previous MLM, I mentioned about this processor. Although Intel did say that this chip will be released sometime in the first quarter of 2021, there is still no official price or release date. So, now that we're already in the first quarter of 2021, does that mean the chip is coming soon? But wait, there's more! Intel has also released more specifications while we patiently wait for it to come out. We now know that the 11900K has 8 cores and 16 threads, and that we'll see a 5.3 GHz boost clock with 1 core and 4.8 GHz all-core turbo for sustained turbo rates on all cores. The processor will also support DDR4 RAM at 3200 MHz and have backwards compatibility for the Intel 400 series chipsets. So if you already own an Intel 400 series motherboard, you don't have to rush out to get a new motherboard for this big boy. What is also interesting is Intel's decision to go back to 14nm process instead of sticking to the 10nm process. Some people might be wondering, why is Intel opting for an older tech? But Intel isn't necessarily backtracking to older tech, as they are featuring their Cypress Cove cores on the 11900K, which will bring us some of the 10nm pizzazz back to the 14nm production process for faster speeds. However, that remains to be seen until it's released sometime this quarter. So what do you think about Intel's decision to stick with the 14nm process? And after looking at all these new specs, are you also interested in getting an 1100K for yourself? LG surprised everyone at CES 2021 with their transparent OLED display, but that is not all. They also teased us with a video revealing their rollable phone. And a spokesperson from LG has confirmed that this phone will be available for purchase this year. It has a resizable screen that converts your phone into a small tablet. Part of the bezel detaches so the screen extends outward to create a larger display area. This rollable phone will be the first to hit the market, which means LG is setting the bar even higher for competitions like Samsung, who just started exploring foldable phones 2 years ago. But anyway, this isn't the first time LG spiced up the phone market with their innovations. Last year, LG launched the swiveling LG Wing that features 2 screens that stack together like Lego. But sadly, many reviewers say that the overpriced LG Wing has poor performance, poor photo quality, and poor battery life. Yeah! So what do you think about this rollable phone? Is LG's effort going to fall through the cracks again? Or will they win big time this time? I have a super convenient round Xiaomi robot vacuum at home that does pretty much all the cleaning functions, but sadly it cannot clean angled corners. So this is when I know I need a Dyson 360i, but sadly the price tag just won't cooperate with my wallet. But if you're on the same boat as me, then good news, because Samsung just announced their all-new JetBot 90 AI Plus that not only cleans your house and all those angled corners, but also functions as a home security camera. The JetBot 90 AI Plus has a LiDAR sensor for better mapping, improved gauge distance and better location precision, as well as AI-based obstacle avoidance technology that helps to detect small objects on the floor and to avoid them. It can even tell if there are any dangerous or fragile objects laying on the floor, as well as, get this, anything that could potentially cause secondary contamination such as your pet's poo-poo. Once it detects something that can't be cleaned, it will send a notification to your phone. This robot vacuum can also clean its own dustbin by emptying itself into a separate bag. Samsung claims that these bags will only need to be replaced every 2 to 3 months, and also it can clean any dust lingering in the air, perfect for people with dust allergies. Lastly, you can connect it with Samsung SmartThings app, which allows you to remotely control multiple devices quicker and easier via your phone. Once connected, you can set a cleaning schedule, set no-go zones on a map of your home, or use its built-in cameras to keep an eye on your home. All this can be done while you're away from your home. While the Dyson 360i costs around $999, I'm expecting this JetBot to be priced slightly cheaper in Malaysian ringgit. Are you guys also as excited as I am about this vacuum cleaner? Rust was set to launch on console in 2020, but as mentioned in one of their latest update made in December last year, it has been postponed to 2021. However, the game's rating surfaced on ESRB recently, possibly hinting that the launch date is closer than expected. The ESRB rating also listed PS4 and Xbox One as the platforms supported by the game. But don't worry, I'm sure that it will be backwards compatible and playable on the latest PS5 and Xbox consoles. If you haven't heard of Rust before, it is a multiplayer FPS survival game where you compete to survive in a hostile environment. The objective of the game is to survive in the wilderness from wild animals and other players using gathered or stolen materials while managing your hunger, thirst, and health or risk dying. Oh yeah, and if you die, other players can harvest your body parts and cook them to eat. Sounds like a pretty intense game. I'm hoping to see it released by March this year, or do you think that's too soon for them? I'm sure you have heard or read about the new WhatsApp policy, and you might even be thinking of switching to Telegram or Signal. But in case you haven't read the fine print yet, here is what you need to know. From February 8 onwards, it will be mandatory for you to share your WhatsApp data with Facebook and other Facebook companies such as Instagram. But what kind of data? Well, this includes data such as your phone's unique identifier, your contacts, your location, financial information, and usage data. And WhatsApp wants you to agree to sharing all this information with Facebook. If you don't agree to the policy, you will even lose access to your WhatsApp. However, Facebook recently assured us that our WhatsApp contacts will not be shared with Facebook. They also promised that end-to-end encryption is still standard on WhatsApp, so the company and other companies under the same umbrella cannot read your messages or listen to your calls. Lastly, they also assured users that our shared location data are still protected via end-to-end encryption, which means WhatsApp or Facebook cannot access this data. But the new terms state that WhatsApp or Facebook will collect and use precise location information from your device. And even if you don't use their location-related features, the company can use IP address or phone numbers to estimate your location. Wow, whether or not I turn on my location features, they can still track my location lor. Is that what it means? WhatsApp claimed that these changes are necessary to improve their market services, and they even aim to monetize WhatsApp and Instagram by doing this. Buyers can now shop on Instagram Shop, and when they see something they like, they just click on it and it will somehow direct them to WhatsApp. So on WhatsApp, a conversation with the seller will start, and that is where the seller can also directly collect payment from the buyer. Everything done on WhatsApp. Wow, it looks like they're building WhatsApp into an e-commerce tool and Instagram into the online marketplace. And the fact that payments can be made on WhatsApp directly, does that mean business owners don't have to set up websites anymore? What do you think? I want to stop using WhatsApp because I don't really appreciate the idea that it is not solely a messaging app anymore. But leaving WhatsApp means I will either have to leave a bunch of group chats behind or convert a bunch of people into using a different app. And that includes all my relatives. And you know, relatives, they all are pretty old age, so they may have difficulties adapting to a new messaging app. So what do you think? Are you planning to continue using WhatsApp or are you going to jump ship? Let me know in the comments down below. Yay, it's comments time! Let's go! Jonathan Lahan. Intel only focuses on CPU development while AMD focuses on both CPU and GPU. So AMD is still definitely better, affordable GPU that can handle most of our future games. That is true. I mean, if you go to a shop, don't you want a shop that offers more options? All this actually comes down to your preference, okay? For me, I don't care what brand, as long as it's cheap, it gets the work done, why not? Jing Jun, shall I wait for Rocket League release and see which CPU pair better with possibly 3080 Ti? I think if you keep waiting, right, something new will just keep coming out. So if you have the cash and you see something, the first feeling you get is, I like, then just go get it. Random user. You should change the name to Monday Logins with Michelle, as that would be more accurate. Aww. Well, it was Monday Logins with Michelle, but we decided to change it to MLM Monday Logins with MOBHouse so that anytime somebody can replace me. So we just keep it general, standard, MOBHouse. Okay, so stay safe, drink a lot of water, and spend time doing things that you never really had the time to, you know? MCO doesn't mean it's always bad. There can be good things coming out of it. We just have to learn to switch our mindset a bit. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!